The story begins with a group of sailors preparing for their journey to deliver cargo to London. The captain is looking to hire additional crew members to help with the voyage. During the selection process, a man named Clemens, who is a doctor, steps forward. However, Wojciech, the second in command, refuses to accept him, claiming that he is physically weak. The group that brought the crates inform Olgarin from the crew that they need to leave before sunset. Wojciech questions why they can't stay. One of the men then steps forward and gives a huge amount to Olgarin, wishing the crew good luck on their journey. While loading the crates, one of the crew members gets startled upon seeing a dragon mark on one of the boxes. He loses his grip on the rope, causing the crate to hang precariously in midair. The captain's grandson is playing directly beneath the hanging crate, but before it can fall on him, Clemens swiftly intervenes and saves him from being crushed. Shaken by the dragon mark, the crew member refuses to continue working on the ship, declaring it the mark of evil, and leaves. This brave act by Clemens impresses the captain, and they decide to bring him aboard. During the voyage, the captain tells Wojciech that this will be his last journey, and he plans to appoint Wojciech as his successor once they reach England. While having dinner, they hear loud cries from the livestock below deck. Clemens and Toby head downstairs to cover the cages in an effort to calm the animals. Suddenly, they hear a noise coming from the cargo area. Clemens goes in to check and discovers that one of the crates has fallen open, spilling a pile of dirt on the floor. While examining the sand, he uncovers something unexpected. He takes the woman who is in poor condition upstairs and decides to perform a blood transfusion. Clemens faces initial resistance from Wojciech. However, the captain eventually agrees to let Clemens provide medical assistance to the woman. Later, Clemens and Olgarin are assigned to patrol the deck for the night. While looking through his binoculars, Olgarin spots a strange face. As Clemens does not hear from Olgarin for some time, he begins searching for him on the deck. He gives a knocking signal on the wood for all clear, but does not get a response from Olgarin. Suddenly, Olgarin approaches him from behind and startles him. He informs Clemens that there is someone else on the deck besides the two of them. Meanwhile, the dog notices something in the cargo area and starts barking at it. When Joseph, the cook, comes down, he discovers that the dog and all livestock are dead, with their bodies being badly mangled. As the captain is made aware of the situation, he decides to throw the dead livestock into the ocean to avoid any chance of infection being spread. Petrovsky, another crew member, suspects that Clemens, being new, is behind this incident. Clemens becomes upset and charges toward Petrovsky, but another crew member intervenes to stop him. Olgarin warns them that there is an evil presence on the ship. As they continue their journey, the ship is 2 weeks away from its destination, and the food supply is running low. While on patrol, Petrovsky hears a noise on the deck. He calls out to Abrams, who is on duty with him, but receives no response. He discovers a broken roof of the cargo room. As he continues, he encounters a strange creature that leaps towards him and slashes his neck. The creature then feeds on his blood to quench its thirst. When Clemens arrives on deck, he does not find Petrovsky on the deck. While searching for him, he comes across the broken ceiling and Petrovsky's knife, stained with blood, on the deck. He alerts everyone on the ship about the situation. Wojciech speculates that Petrovsky may have been drunk, lost his balance, and fallen overboard. Amid their discussion, Anna wakes up and shouts that they need to get off the boat because it will kill everyone. Clemens attempts to calm her hysterical behavior. Later, Clemens asks Anna about what she mentioned earlier. Anna explains that there is an evil entity they refer to as Dracula, which feeds on other humans. She reveals that the elders of her village made a deal with this evil by offering human sacrifices to protect the rest of the community, and she was offered as the sacrifice. She shows Clemens the bite marks on her body to prove she is not making up stuff. Meanwhile, while on duty at the deck, Larson hears a knocking sound that the patrolling crew makes to communicate on the deck. When Larson calls Olgarin, he informs Larson that it was not him. Just then, they hear the knocking again. Olgarin moves toward the source of the sound to investigate, but at that moment, the creature attacks Larson, slamming his head against the floor repeatedly. In a panic, Olgarin climbs up the sail to escape, but the creature follows him. As no one was managing the wheel, the ship begins to lose its balance, causing everyone on board to come up. While the crew searches for 2 missing members, Clemens notices blood dripping onto Toby's shirt. He spots Olgarin, injured and hanging from the sail. As they try to bring him back to consciousness, he begins shouting in fear. The crew restrained him with ropes on the table. The captain orders that 2 armed men be assigned to each watch and instructs the team to search the ship thoroughly. While the crew conducts their search, The captain asks Toby to stay inside the room and lock the door. As the sun sets, Olgarin's body begins to shake violently, and his eyes turns white. Toby hears a noise coming from outside of the room and decides to check it out for himself. He sees Olgarin and approaches him, only to discover that he is under the spell of the creature. Olgarin drags Toby by his hair, but Toby manages to free himself and runs towards the room and locks the room from inside. He begins to knock on the wall, and the noise is heard by others on the deck. Olgarin breaks the door with his head, but retreats from opening the door. Clemens comes downstairs and sees Olgarin standing outside the room. When he approaches him, Olgarin attacks Clemens. Wojciech joins Clemens to overpower Olgarin. Just as Clemens and the captain are about to open the door, they spot the creature standing inside the room. Before they can get in, the creature grabs Toby and bites him on the neck. Anna arrives and blasts the door open with her gun. However, it is too late as they find Toby lying on the ground, injured and with bite marks on his neck. Clemens provides treatment to the boy in the hope that he will recover. Clemens believes that Olgarin has contracted some sort of infection from the creature that has taken over his body. As the day breaks, Olgarin keeps repeating, "It burns!" And when the sunlight hits him, his body ignites into flames. Hearing his cries, Wojciech shoots him to put an end to his suffering, but the tears in his eyes reveal the pain he feels. Later, Clemens informs Wojciech that Toby shows the same signs as Olgarin, and they may need to consider their options. Assuming Clemens is suggesting that they should kill Toby, Wojciech points the gun at Clemens and asks him to pull the trigger while looking into the boy's eyes. Clemens clarifies that this is not what he meant, and insists they must find the creature to seek a solution. However, Wojciech interrupts him and tells him to go for his watch. Clemens and Anna begin to check shipment details, and to their surprise, there is no owner listed, only a shipping address. While Abrams is on duty on the deck, Joseph attacks him from behind, leaving him unconscious. He then takes one of the lifeboats and escapes the ship. Meanwhile, Clemens and Anna search the cargo holds but only find dirt in each one. Eventually, they come across a box with a dragon symbol on it. Clemens cautiously opens the crate with Anna ready to shoot the creature. However, it was not there, but they discover a stick with a dragon on it. Realizing this is the place where the creature sleeps. As Joseph paddles his boat, he hears something flying nearby. When he turns around, he sees the creature landing on his boat. As Abrams regains consciousness, he and Wojciech search the ship. They see the lifeboat coming back to the ship, but there is no one in the boat. The next morning, Wojciech goes to meet the captain, who informs him that Toby is no longer with them. Just as they are about to release Toby, the captain suddenly says that Toby is alive, claiming he saw him move. When the captain tears away the cloth, Toby opens his eyes, revealing that he is under the devil's spell. He attacks the captain, but the sunlight begins to burn him. Abrams manages to pull the captain away from Toby just in time. Clemens and Wojciech then push Toby's body into the ocean. Wojciech informs others that they are just 1 day away from reaching London. Anna tells the group that the creature no longer needs them, as it has been rationing the crew for its own survival. She believes that they need to kill the creature and sink the ship before it reaches the coast. Wojciech opposes this idea, as the ship is his home. However, Clemens convinces him that the well-being of the crew is more important than the ship. They set up an ambush to injure the creature and plan to sink the ship with it on board. Clemens informs the captain about their plan, but the captain believes the creature can bring Toby back. He points his gun at Clemens, but Anna intervenes, telling the captain that he knows it is not possible and urging him to support their plan. She emphasizes that they cannot allow the devil to reach the coast and harm anyone else, as it did to Toby. Overcome with emotion, the captain breaks down and drops the gun. As part of the plan, Wojciech and Abrams wait for the creature in the bird's nest, while Clemens and Anna remain on the deck. They notice a shadow flying around the ship, realizing that the creature can fly as well. The fog makes it difficult for them to see, and just then, the creature grabs the rope tied to Abrams and pulls him away, killing him mid-air. Wojciech decides to climb down because he cannot see anything up there. However, while coming down, the creature attacks him, causing him to fall into the cargo room. Clemens tells him that he is coming down to help him, but Wojciech tells Clemens to prepare the lifeboat while he attempts to damage the ship in order to sink it. Before Wojciech can inflict the damage needed to sink the ship, the creature attacks and kills him. Clemens descends to check on Wojciech and finds him dead. Before he can return to the captain, who is trying to steer the ship, the creature attacks the captain as well. Clemens discovers the captain tied to the wheel, taking his last breath, and he dies in front of him. Enraged by the death of the crew, Clemens summons the creature. The creature appears with all its might and attacks him. Just as the creature is about to kill him, Anna shoots and injures it. In retaliation, the creature turns on Anna and wraps its wings around her. To save her, Clemens strikes the demon with an axe, forcing it to release Anna from its grasp. As they flee toward the lifeboat, the creature grabs Clemens, prompting Anna to cut the rope, which causes a part of the mast to collapse and crush the creature. Both of them jump into the ocean to escape and cling to some debris. Meanwhile, the creature manages to push the mast away and lets out a loud scream. On noticing a ship coming to the shore, the guards go to the ship to look for the crew but didn't find anybody. However, they find the captain's log, which mentions,
"God have mercy on your souls."
As Anna and Clemens float on debris, she reveals to him that she is turning into a Dracula as she has been bitten by the creature. The blood transfusions have only delayed the inevitable outcome. As dawn approaches, Anna, not wanting to turn into a monster, willingly self-immolates in the sunlight while Clemens drifts ashore. Upon arriving in London, Clemens visits a local tavern. He hears the knocking signal of the crew of the Demeter and then sees the Dracula, dressed like an aristocrat, laughing at him. The Dracula scratches his neck and then disappears in the crowd. Exiting the pub, Clemens notices Dracula's shadow and decides to follow it. He vows, in memory and honor of his fallen companions, that he will kill Dracula and send him back to hell, and the movie ends there.